Hello and welcome to Assay TV. Today we're talking with Steppe Gold, and I have Aneel Waraich, who is their Executive Vice President and Director. Hello, Aneel, calling in here from Toronto. Your company, you've got a project up there or some projects up there in Mongolia. Tell us a little bit about the team and your experience in that country.
Sure, Leo, and thanks for having me today. Yeah, so our team, our core team, Matt Wood, who's our executive chairman and co-founder of Steppe Gold, and Bata Timur Osher, who's also our president and CEO and a Mongolian national, have worked together for over a decade in Mongolia. So Matt has worked in Mongolia since 2009. He's actually listed another company and had some success there about a decade ago with a company called Urum. That was a $20 million IPO and a $500 million cash sale in 2011. So we certainly know how to do business in country. And so we do have a Mongolia focused team. Half our board are Mongolian, our CEO is Mongolian, and most importantly, 98 to 99% of our staff in country are Mongolian.
Well, certainly a lot of our Hong Kong viewers will remember Hunu Cole and know Matt and his experience in Mongolia. But you're working on this, the main project you've got is the Altan Tsagaan Ovoo project, the ATO project, in production now. Tell us what's your sort of guidance for production targets for 2020?
Great. Yeah, we are in production. We announced commercial production in July of this year, and during a very tough time with this global pandemic, we actually brought production online for the first time ever in Q2 of this year, where we produced over 15,000 ounces. We sold over 12,000 ounces and generated over 10 million US of EBITDA. So we were free cash flow positive from our first ever quarter as a producer, which is a great start. It's a fantastic position to be in as a producer, generating your own cash and being self-sustaining, thankfully. So we're on track on a quarterly basis to produce between 10 to 15,000 ounces per quarter during this startup and ramp up stage. It takes a few quarters to kind of optimize production, work through any tweaks with all the equipment and whatnot. And so we're still on track over a 12-month period to produce roughly 60,000 ounces a year with a life of mine cash cost of sub 550 and all-in costs of $650 US. So it's a very robust starter project that will now fund the growth of our phase two.
And so explain what phase two will involve.
Yep. So phase two actually involves, so phase one, real quickly, is a heap leach operation. We built the ADR plant. You can see in the background there, that's the ADR building. So that's to process the oxides, which is right from surface down to about 40 meters depth. So a very shallow open pit, phase one. Phase two is now going below the 40 meters oxides into the sulfides. And so that's currently to a depth of about 300 meters. So still open pittable, but you will have to build a CIL plant and flotation circuit to treat the phase two material. And so phase two will look like probably an initial 10-year mine life with a production profile that's almost 2.5 times the 60,000 ounces. So we're targeting 150,000 ounces. It's a permitted expansion, which we're working on bringing online by the end of 2022. So not too far away. So the next 2 years are continued cash flow from phase one that will fund the development and expansion into phase two. Once phase two comes online towards the end of 2022, we now move from circa 40 million US of EBITDA, today's pricing, to 100 million US plus. Our production profile goes from 60,000 ounces to the target of 150,000 ounces for initial 10 years to start with the hopes to continue extending that mine life.
And I think you recently received your initial tranche of debt funding for phase two. What's your sort of cash position looking like?
Sure. So today we have about 35 million US on our balance sheet. 10 million US is that new tranche of debt we received, sponsored by the Central Bank of Mongolia, part of the Gold 2 program, and TDB Bank advanced us those funds. So it's a very strong endorsement that we have the support from within the country to expand, and that's a very it's a very big deal. In fact, we are going to work on sourcing as much debt as we can from within the country or within Asia over the next few months while we're completing the feasibility study. We've already shown that we have a lead order from within the country to advance this phase two expansion, which we think will cost less than 100 million US, or even using 100 million US, you'll fund through debt and equity. And here we already have a leading tranche from within the country for that debt.
And you have some sort of Mongolians in senior positions on your board and management.
Yes, we do. So our CEO is Mongolian, our VP of Exploration is Mongolian. In fact, we have almost over 100 employees in country, all Mongolian except for 3. So that's, we are considered a Mongolian company listed on the TSX, and, we're a very local company, and half our board also Mongolian, which is, the way you should do business in any jurisdiction, not just Mongolia. Be as local as possible, try to create those direct and indirect jobs. So everyone will see the benefits of what we're doing here. We're not here to take advantage of a resource. We're actually contributing at the local level with the villages, with the scholarship program and the meat and dairy co-op, to employment in the province and within the country. We're a taxpayer now, a royalty payer to the government. We sell our gold. And in fact, this year, this was the second announcement where we've got the endorsement from the government. Earlier this year, we got a $3 million US investment from the newly established sovereign fund in Mongolia. So clearly, I think we're doing things right, and you can see that by the endorsement we're getting on all levels within the country.
Fantastic. You've also got some exploration targets you're looking at. The Munk project. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing with that one.
Sure. So the Mung discovery and soon-to-be deposit is a very exciting deposit for us. It's something that has never been put into a technical report. So that even for phase 2, we're now doing some additional met work and recovery work on Mung. It's never been put into a resource. So we've now drilled enough holes, and we'll drill until the end of November, additional infill and extensional drilling on Mung to put a maiden resource. So that's going to be a new deposit that's being added to our balance sheet, to our phase 2 expansion, which is significantly still underexplored. It's still open at depth. It's only been drilled to a vertical depth of 300 meters. It's open to the north, and it's open in the gap between AT04 and Mung. Mung means silver in Mongolian, and that's how it was discovered with silver at surface there. So it's a very exciting new discovery that we haven't shown in the market of what size it could add in terms of ounces and grade. But based on initial drilling results, having our first drill hole being 46 meters at 15 grams gold and 82 silver, it's certainly encouraging in a higher grade fresh rock deposit.
And when do you expect the maiden resource? You're going to put that out shortly, is that right?
Yes, our target is the end of this year. So we hope by end of December, we'll be able to put out a maiden resource on Mung. We're actually drilling also AT01 at depth. So testing at depth extensions or discovery drilling at depth. And where we have had, we announced just a few weeks ago, a new discovery underneath the AT01 deposit. An AT01 deposit is where we're currently drilling. So we've currently mining. And so we've actually never drilled at depth there. Now we've encountered a new, looks to be a discovery just a few hundred meters down. So we're going to have a maiden resource on Mung and an upgraded resource or reserves on AT01, 2, and 4. So it's a significant update. This will include roughly 45 to 50,000 meters of drilling that have never been incorporated in this update. So it's a significant update for the project.
What sort of grades were you hitting in this new deeper discovery?
So the deeper discovery at AT01, it's about 6.5 meters at 0.5 grams gold, 40 grams silver, but 1.4% copper, 4.5% lead, and 20% zinc. So it's got that additional base metal content as we expected at AT01. AT01 and 2 have some base metals, and that's why we're building that flotation circuit. So very encouraging where, this could add to additional value in the future through the base metals.
Fantastic. And tell us a little bit about the UK deposit, the Urum Hundi deposit.
Yeah, so the Urum Hundi project is, the UK project for short, is a very exciting exploration license, 14,400 hectares that we've never drilled. Actually, nobody has drilled. So it's a license that we acquired also at the same time when we acquired ATO in 2017. We just didn't have the time or money to actually focus on while we're building our first mine. Now that we're up and running, we're generating our own cash flow. We can fund our own exploration and not have to go back to the market, which is a great position to be in. So now, we're now actually trenching as we speak. We have 4 discoveries down there that we have been focusing on for trenching since August. This is where we did some initial work in the last 2 years. The groundwork, the IP, the magnetics, the soil sampling, and now trenching has commenced. We put out some initial trenching results on Milky Way from surface. It looks to be mineralized from a 700 meters length by 12 meters. So very encouraging from surface results, which we'll start drilling hopefully by the end of this year. So we're going to mobilize a drill rig down to this project and drill it for the first time. What's obviously exciting is the fact that it's never been drilled, but it's actually been drilled all around. So next to our license to the north and the south, adjoining to our license, is another company called Erdene Resources, ERD on the TSX. And they've had tremendous success in the last few years on drilling out both of their projects, new discoveries. They have about 1 million ounces between their two licenses, and we're smack in the middle. So it's very exciting to actually get down there. And that could be another production center for Steppe Gold down the line. Too early to say now, but certainly something that we're going to focus on now. And we have finally the cash to fund it. So very exciting. So there'll be additional trenching results coming out from now to the end of the year and drilling behind that.
And you're able to continue operations even through the pandemic?
We are. So that's, as I highlighted earlier on, having a local team, when you have 98 to 99% of your team in country local, you don't have to depend on expats to run your business. So in fact, we never had any expats in the country since February of this year, yet we brought production online for the first time with 100% local skilled Mongolian team. So we're very happy with that outcome. This shows you how important it is to have that local workforce. So we actually had no operational hiccups. We were able to procure all the chemicals, reagents without any issues and bring production online, which continues as we speak. And hopefully as the country opens up, we will get our expat team in there. And I think that, it only will increase our opportunity there in production.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like you've got a lot of things to focus on and lots of news flow coming out as the year progresses. So best of luck with that. And thank you very much for joining us today.
Great. Thanks very much, Leo. Much appreciated.